Hi friends, Mindy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my April plan with me. I know that we're already a few days into April, but I just wanted to get this video posted. I am working in an Archer and Olive dot grid notebook. This is the 8x8 square, and it's just my preferred size for my bullet journal. And I'm actually using the calligraph markers here, hand lettering the word April, and I went with a really simple theme this month. I needed my plan with me to kind of be really quick. I just didn't have a lot of time to put into my actual calendar as I needed it to really function. And I'm going with a travel theme. I have a lot of travel actually happening in April, and so I just thought it was appropriate. So I'm kind of going with a vintage sort of travel theme, using some washi tapes just because it makes the process of putting all these pages together really quick. So I have this really wide washi tape that looks like a map. I'm just adding that all the way across the bottom, trimming off that edge where the corner is rounded, and then I'm going to go back through, erase all of my little pencil marks. I wonder sometimes why I do the pencil marks, because most of the time with the writing I don't actually follow them, but anyway, so just erased all of that. This is going to be my month at a glance setup. I'm going to be changing just a couple things this month, but I really needed, I really like having a month at a glance at the beginning. So I'm just going to use my micron. I'm actually using a brown micron this month just to kind of go with that vintage theme. And then I have one of my Pentel Sign brush pens here, and I'm just going to write out the days of the week across the top of this. I'm kind of, again, going with that sort of map vintage look, so there's a lot of blues and browns for this theme, which is why I chose to do the brown calendar. So all the kind of bones of my pages are going to be in that brown micron. It's actually the graphic tip, so it's a nice wide bold color. And then I'm coming in with a micron pen, or excuse me, a Tombow marker, and going in and just making some circles really quickly, and then I'm going to come back in with the smaller end of those calligraph markers and write the days on of the calendar. And then I'm going to add some washi tape down at the bottom just for a little bit of interest and to just kind of bring in some color. This just looks like a city map here. And then I have this washi tape that has some little arrows on it. I think this is I cannot remember the brand. Carpe Diem maybe, but anyway, I'm using this to kind of mark off some of the days that we're actually going to be traveling this month. So when you watch this, I'm actually at a retreat, and so just kind of have a lot going on this April, little busy things. So I want to mark these out, and just helps me as a visual reminder for different things. And then I decided it would be really fun to kind of pull in an actual vintage map. So that's what I'm doing. And these colors just work really well with the colors of this map. It's kind of that same blue and that kind of burnt orange and brown. And so I'm just going to use my Yoo-Hoo glue stick here and add this right into my planner page on this section. I am putting a little piece of paper behind there so that I can add that glue, and then just gluing that down. I will have a little bit of room to write over in there. If I need to, I can, add a page or whatever. But these are my two kind of staple pages. I do these pretty much every month. This first one is my line a day page. This is where I record something that happened, and it's something I'm thankful for. Just kind of just different from day to day, but just kind of an event or something I'm thankful for, something neat that happened, whatever. So I'm just going through here again, using that same micron brown pen here, and then I will use one of the calligraph markers up at the top to write line a day again, and I'm just kind of freehanding the handwriting. It's a good way for me to practice. My hand lettering is in my bullet journal, so that's kind of what I use it for with my headers and things. So again, just going to add a little bit of washi tape down across the bottom here, mostly just to add, again, some color. By the time this page gets filled up, it's always quite busy anyway, just from all the handwriting, and so I try not to add too much to it. So it's just going to have that little strip of washi. And then this next side is my project bingo page. I get asked about this all the time. This is just a fun way for me to record different things that I want to get done this month. So I'm going to hand letter bingo across the top, and then over the top of that I will write the project. So sometimes these are projects I want to do around the house. Sometimes they're projects I want to do in my craft room. It just kind of depends. It's just a good way for me to kind of write down all of the things that, aren't date specific, but that I would like to try to accomplish in the month. And then these next two pages have more to do with my YouTube channel. As I try to record content and make sure that I have some up for like times when I am out of town or whatever. It just helps me to keep everything organized, or when I have people that leave comments for suggestions for videos, I try to include those as well. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of washi down here. This is just another style of washi that I have that kind of looks, again, like a street sign, or, you know, a street map. But this one is a really waxy really waxy washi tape, and so it was really hard to tear, so I ended up having to use my little X-Acto knife to kind of cut that. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of that same vintage map here on this page. I won't necessarily fill that entire page, so I have a little bit of room. And then this is a new page to me. This is going to be another kind of calendar page, like a month at a glance, but this is specifically for my new website. There are some things that we're wanting to roll out for the next month, and so this is just going to be a way for me to kind of keep those separate in my brain. That needs to happen. I could probably do it on the bigger calendar, but there's just very specific things that I'm trying to keep track of, so I just thought it would be better. I may change this next month. This is the first month I've been doing it, so just going through really quickly, making a small calendar so that I can kind of notate some things that are happening with this new website, which, if you haven't seen that, the new website is called Chosen and Crafting. I will link it in the description. I'm selling some vintage papers and paper packs and some journaling supplies and some journals, and it's an ever expanding situation, and that's part of the reason why I want to have some pages dedicated to that, because we have some plans to incorporate some new things into that website. And so this is just a good place for me to keep track of all of those things, kind of do some brainstorming and that type of thing. And so again, just added a little bit of washi down at the bottom and an underline up across the top. And then I went back to my weekly spread that has all the days on the one side on the right, but I did adjust just a little bit how I have on the left side. I still have a place for my meal plan and a place for my habits, but I'm splitting this area where I usually keep my intentions, and I'm splitting that down just using some washi for that delineation, and then that way I can also keep some different things, some intentions that I have personally and some intentions that I have for the website, and moving forward, just to kind of try to keep myself organized. We'll see how it works. That's the thing I love about bullet journaling, actually, is that if it's not working next month, I can change it and find something that works a little bit better for me. So all the pages are going to look like this. I'm not going to make you watch me draw them all out, but this is kind of the intention behind these pages. I will do a little flip through where you can kind of see all the pages, because I do go back and add just a little bit of that vintage map on some other pages as well. You can see here I'm just labeling that this is the meal plan and my habits section down here. It just helps me to keep track of everything. So I'm really bad about tracking habits. It's something I put every month, and every month I do a terrible job at it. So one of these days, but anyway, so this is kind of what it looks like. You can see there in the bingo section, I added some of that map and added some washi again, and then just little pieces of map up the headers for the weeklies. So if you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. All the links for my website and for my Facebook group are in the description. And until next time, bye.